And we are live. Welcome everybody to Monday Mastermind, and we are so glad that you are here. Unfortunately, due to connections and internet problems, Katie and Pops are going to be a bit late today because they've got to find a good connection. And I understand it's just part of the whole game and part of being able to tour the country. One of the drawbacks is that you may not be able to make it online and make it to our hangout. They really love being on here, and I completely understand the situation. So it's just one of those things. But we have Mr. Jamie Shaw on with me, and I just wanted to knock it over to Jamie and ask him how's his week been, how things going. Share, Mr. Jamie Shaw.
Everything's going cool. Of course, it's only Monday. I'm just getting started. Last Thursday did my show, did on Six Fears or Six Ghosts of Fear, and there's just so much stuff to cover on the Six Ghosts of Fears that we only got through 3 of them. So we're doing part 2 this week. So if you guys seen Thursday night, come over and watch part 2 of Thursday night. And plus, we had to cut a little short because the Deep Abyss was going on too, and that wasn't something I wanted to miss. But Saturday was pretty interesting. Computer business is still booming. I got here's a common PC problem if you have Windows 10. It won't start up. Most of the time you can fix it with a startup repair disk, but some people screw up their computer so bad that you can't fix it with a startup repair disk, and so that's corrupt operating system, requires a reinstall. But that keeps me busy and keeps me in profit, so I'm fine with that.
That's awesome. Yeah, Windows 10 is a completely different kettle of fish. I completely understand that. Both myself, I'm also in IT, and I gotta say, it took me a while to get used to Windows 10, but it's a completely different operating system, and it has its moments. Overall, I like it. I mean, it's useful, but I don't know, man. I just feel like I miss Windows 7. I miss Windows 7 for some reason. Do you miss Windows 7?
I still got a computer right there with Windows 7 on it.
I like Windows 7, and mainly because I could, I think because I just knew it really well. Not because it's the best, I'm sure, but it's just I was really used to it. Anyway, carry on.
I got an old laptop back here too with Windows 7 on it too. I still have some Windows 7 boxes around here because I like to run virtual machines and experiment and stuff like that. So Windows 7 runs virtual machines so much better than Windows 10 does. So you have to run a virtual box in Windows 10. It runs better than a virtual machine, but Windows 7, it's still hard to get rid of it because we were all used to it for so long.
Yes.
And
dude, I can remember DOS 3.1. Up to DOS 6.2, and then I used something called 4DOS, Windows 3.1, Windows 3.1. Oh my goodness, Windows 95 with that drum set that used to beat every time you put in a floppy, insert floppy 29 or something, and it would break the installation.
Oh yeah, I mean, when I first learned AutoCAD, which is a computer-aided design software, I learned AutoCAD version 8, which was all DOS based. You had to type in all your commands, and you're talking about floppy disk up there in the top of my closet. I still got floppy disk up there.
Sure. Well, okay, so let's get back on the subject. I know it's easy to get sidetracked, and we do that very well. I do it very well. Actually, who's the king of it is Pat Patterson. He gets off topic so well. It's unbelievable. But we've got a very interesting subject that we want to address today. And as you can see on the title, that it's titled "Why Some People Don't See Results in their Online Business." And so I'm going to be talking about a very, very specific set of rules that everybody should be following. And I'm going to be quite aggressive with this because it can be a bit hard to swallow. All right, it can be a bit hard to swallow. And in a lot of ways, I feel that this is my fault because it can be, I can say it's not like I haven't been giving misinformation, but it's very easy to say something and not to emphasize on it. So I'm partly to blame, and I want to emphasize some things today. And I'm going to be going over something which everybody should be paying attention to. So why have I chosen to talk about this subject? Well, I had a conversation with somebody this week about, I was talking to somebody and they were saying to me, Dave, I've been working my business for 2 years and I don't seem to be getting anywhere. Nothing seems to be working. And I just got an email from you, and I sent out this email talking about how to actually get results. And I said that you've got to stay away from distractions. You've got to get to work. You've got to invest your time in your business. And all of this was good stuff. But this person was saying to me that when they came across the sentence, don't get distracted, they were saying, well, in my situation, Dave, I've got this happening in my life, and you don't seem to have the same sort of frustrations. And I got to say that, of course, I have distractions. You've got to understand that I had a lot of things that were preventing me from actually getting results in my life. And one of the biggest things I had in my life is that I used to watch a lot of series on TV. That sort of thing. I was just immersed in it. I'm in a position where I have to actually take care of my own folks because my mom is losing her sight and she battles to see. My dad battles to walk. I got a friend who's disabled, and so I've got to take care of those people, and it's a very, very difficult situation for me. And now it's just getting worse and worse, and my folks are getting more frail and more frail. And I have a lot of things on my plate. There's a lot of time and stuff that I can't actually spend all of my time on my business. But that isn't what I wanted to talk about, all right? A lot of people will say that they're really busy. They really get stuck in their business. They work a lot. They spend a lot of time on their business. And they're really doing work. And I'll say work in brackets because they're not actually producing results. And so I'm going to be talking about today something called income producing activities and what it is, but very specifically what income producing activities are not. All right. And I want to emphasize that because a lot of people, and I was looking up online and I was trying to find out what people were thinking about the subject, what income producing activities are. And so I came across some videos and I just said, what is going on here? Why are people giving this nonsense out? And so I want to tell you, first of all, what income producing activities are not. And if you are doing this, I'm not saying you must stop it, but it's definitely something you should not be concentrating on the most. All right? And so can anybody guess? Let's just see if anybody can guess what incoming produce activities are not. What isn't it? What is the thing that is not? And somebody tell me in the comments what isn't incoming producing activities. Can you give me some ideas of what they are? Let's see if somebody will speak up in the comments so we can get some feedback here. Reading Facebook. Yes, definitely. I would say that a lot of people get stuck in their business and they get distracted by Facebook because they're just hearing ping, 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 and they start reading all of these lovely threads on Facebook. That's definitely not an incoming producing activity, is being distracted by Facebook. Mindset, absolutely, Maria. And Maria's hit this the nail on the head here. Look, let me say first of all that when you're starting a business online, I will say that your mindset is incredibly important. To have the right mindset is important. But the problem is this. A lot of people think that because they've listened to mindset the entire day from beginning to end, and they just listen to mindset, they have done a lot of work. And the truth is, all you've done is listen to stuff. And it means absolutely nothing if you're not prepared to do any work. All right? If you're not prepared to do any work, you can forget it. It doesn't mean anything. And so I'm going to be going over, how can I say, I'm going to be going over 5 steps or 5 things you should be doing in your business that's going to help you. Into that, I want to tell you something, and this is where I think I've miscommunicated something to a lot of people, and I want to get this out of the way because I think it's very important. So everybody kind of knows my story of how I started out in the online business, or how I started out in this industry. All right, I met my mentor online who gave me some instructions, and I started to work really hard at my business. And he told me that there were 2 options available to me, 2 options. And the first option was that I could go ahead and buy traffic. I could buy traffic, and then my journey to success would be shorter, or I could generate traffic with free methods, and my journey to success would be longer. Right? Well, it took me about 2.5 years to where I'm now in a position where I am right now. But for 8 months, I struggled, and I worked really hard working on free methods. And here's the reason. Because, first of all, I didn't have any money. I didn't have any money, so I couldn't buy traffic. And the second reason was that even if I had money, I still could not buy traffic. So I was in a position where I could not, even if I had the resources to, I could not buy any traffic online because of where I live. Because I live in South Africa, because everything is regulated, we have a reserve bank that is so stingy and won't let you do anything without people monitoring where you're from. I even tried to buy traffic this week, and I could not buy it. Why? Because I live in South Africa. And because I can't buy traffic, and because I cannot take that route or route, however you say it, I had to work really hard at getting traffic to my website. And when I say work really hard, this is where a lot of people skip. And a lot of people jump over this. And they just think, well, Dave did this and Dave did that, and this is what you have to do. And I tell people that I made videos. And I made videos full of content, and I made video reviews, and I did that. And when I tell people how many videos I make, often people don't believe it. When I tell people that I used to make 10, 20, 30 videos a day, they think, how's that even possible? But that's how desperate I was. I was making videos every day. I was producing content every day, and I was working like a crazy person producing content for my business so I could get traffic to my website. And as a result of working really hard, after 8 months, right, I got 1 sale. Does that give you an idea of how hard I had to work? I got 1 sale. Then I carried on working, and I got 2 sales. Then I carried on working, and I got 3 sales and 4 sales and 5 sales. And I just kept on with the momentum. And even to this day, there are sites where I cannot buy traffic, and I still have to generate traffic with free methods. And that's ultimately what it came down to, is the fact that I started doing incoming producing activities, which I'm going to share with you now. Now, do you have any comments you want to say there, Jamie, or do you want me to carry on? I mean, I don't mind. I just wanted to.
Oh, carry on. I was just looking at my YouTube analytics. I did some tweaks to it that you taught me, and I was just seeing what my results were.
Oh, okay. So I'm just going to carry on with what I was saying. So I'm going to be going over the five things you should be doing in your business. You should be absolutely working on these particular points in your business, because a lot of people don't. They work on the frills of their business. They like making charts. They like making stats. They like doing fancy banners. They like making fancy intros to their videos and fancy outros to their videos. And they like buying a course on copywriting. They like buying a course on how to do emails. They like, you know, I had a conversation with somebody this week about this very subject, And they were saying, well, you know, Dave, I really want to go out and buy a good course on copywriting. So I said to them, ask me how many courses I bought on copywriting. And I said, how many? And I said, 0. I've got 0. I have bought 0 on copywriting. Everything that I do, I have figured out through practice. That's how I've become good, because I just did it. I just took action. And I probably stumbled. I made a whole bunch of mistakes. But the point is that you're going to be faffing around doing little things in your business which really aren't producing any traffic. You're wasting your time. You need to be working on a strategy or buying traffic. So here's the first step. You need to be building a list. You need to be building a list. And that means opening up an Aweber account or opening up a GetResponse account, and you absolutely need to be building a list. There's an expression in the industry that goes, the money is in the list. And this is absolutely true. Absolutely true. You need to be building a list. And when I say building a list, you need to be getting leads so that you can build your list up. All right. I have maybe 4,000 people in my business, and I continually cull that list. I don't want to get it too long. I make it short because I want people who are actively responding to me. But I've got those people in my list, and whenever I have something to share, I have a list of people that I can share that with. You need to be building a list. So how do you build your list? And I'm going to be sharing this with you. There are 2 ways to build your list. One, you can buy leads. Now look, if you have the money and you have a budget, you can buy leads. In other words, you can buy clicks to your actual capture page, and you can take a shortcut where you can actually start building your list. Or if you don't want to spend any money, and quite frankly, if I had the option, I would have gone with buying leads so I could get people to my actual website. If I had that option, I would have taken it. But because I didn't, I chose one strategy, and that was doing video marketing, and I started to make videos. Not 1 video a day, not 2 videos a day. I started to make at least, well, when I started out, it was 2 to 4. And then I started to doing 4 to 8 a day. And then I started doing 10 to 15. And then I was doing 20 a day. And I think on one particular day, I worked the entire day long, and I did 50 videos in 1 day. In 1 day. That's how desperate I was, because I couldn't buy leads. I couldn't. It was impossible. You know, and that's how I became really good at ranking my videos. I developed a skill. I got really good, but I just knuckled down to one strategy, and I worked it really, really hard. And I did it until blood was coming out of my fingers. I did it until I sweated blood. I was going crazy. I was getting very frustrated, but I finally managed to do it. And that's how I started to get 10, 20, 30 leads into my business every single day. And this is what you need to be doing. And this is why I say you need to either buy leads, or you need to work on a strategy, a free method where you can actually start generating leads for yourself. That's what you need to be doing. That is an incoming producing activity. That is what builds your business, because without leads, your business is dead. It's that simple. Do you have anything to add, Jamie?
No, I completely agree with that. You have to be doing some, if you're not going to spend money on ads, you're going to be doing some type of pre-marketing, either Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. YouTube's by far the easiest. Making videos, doing Facebook Lives, that's by far the easiest. And I didn't understand that at first, and the people that are whine and cry and say, well, it's not working for me, it's because, you may think you're working, but you're not doing something in that part of your business right. And that's why Dave's covered all these. I know when I'm taking action, doing videos, I get leads. When I don't get leads. So it's plain and simple. Do the work, you get leads.
That's right. And unfortunately, where I think people misunderstand, Jamie, when they misunderstand the strategy, they'll hear me say making videos, or they'll hear me say do a couple of Facebook ads, or they hear you say make a couple of Facebook ads, and you've shown us how to do that. But what people start to do in their business is they make 1 or 2 a week. They make 1 or 2 videos a week, and then they kind of go into the motions of maybe writing an email once a week, or and that type of thing. And that's the type of lifestyle you have when you're actually generating leads inside of your business. When you're actually producing leads into your business, then you can take it easy on your business and go and do the slow stuff. But in the beginning, you have to work hard. So you either buy leads, and I was saying to this person which I contacted this week, that because she was saying, look, what am I supposed to do? I'm in a situation where I've got a family to take care of, and I don't have the time to work on my business. And I was saying, well, look, this is what you need to do, is you need to start buying leads for your business. And then because you're buying leads for your business and you're actually getting something into your business, then what you can do is, because that is taken care of, you can start working on the videos that you need to make, where you can tell people who you are and what you do, and talk about mindset and talk about helpful strategies online. You can take your time doing that. You can start emailing your list once a day and do that sort of thing, because you're bringing leads into your business. If you don't have that option to buy leads, then you need to work even harder. All right. So money is going to help you with that. And if you have money, you need to invest into your business, because that is your business, right? It's your business. That's what you do. So budget for traffic, and you'll make things a lot easier, and your success will be a lot quicker. If you're not going to buy any leads, or you're not going to buy any ads, or you're not going to invest in any sort of traffic, don't expect to have any sort of success in a very close period of time. It took me 2.5 years. It took me 2.5 years in a third world country to become financially independent. I worked my knuckles to the bone. I worked incredibly hard doing this. And that's why I'm in the position I am. But if you are in a position where you can buy leads and you can buy ads, go for it and use it to your advantage. The second thing, number 2, that you should be doing is this: connecting with your subscribers. So once you start building your leads, and the next incoming producing activity you should be doing is emailing your list every day. Yes, I said every day. And if you say to me, well, Dave, I go to church on Sunday, that's okay. You don't have to do it on Sunday. But you need to be emailing your list every day. And you might say, well, Dave, what am I supposed to email them? Very simple. What you're learning. You've got a business, you're starting it out. Maybe you're in the health and wellness industry. Maybe you're in the beauty industry. Maybe you're in computers like Jamie is. Maybe you're doing running, or you're teaching, or you're coaching, or you're doing yoga. Write to people about your experiences. Tell people stories. Express who you are. Tell them what happened to you when you were young. Give people motivation, inspiration. That's what people want. Write to them every day. You need to be connecting with your email list. That is an incoming producing activity, because you're building rapport, you're building trust, so people can deal with you in the future. I've got to say, and if David is watching, I just want to say congratulations, David. He got into one of my businesses, and he is on his way to earning big. And I just want to say he took action. But David has been following me for 2 years. He's been following me for 2 years on my list, looking at my emails. And this is what it is about, building rapport, because I email my list on a consistent basis, and you should be doing the same thing. Jamie, you want to say anything?
Yeah, if I can find the mute button. But what you're saying is absolutely true. Connect with your subscribers. Another mentor I follow, she uses 3 concepts. Go out and meet 10 people a day, produce a piece of content every day, and email your list every day. Those are 3 easy steps that you can do for free and get people coming to you. The more people you know, if you're going to use Facebook, what's Facebook really? A network marketing platform. Go out and network with people, meet people. You know, if you work a full-time job like I do, then start out with 5 people a day and just build yourself up to 10, 15 people a day. But, you know, you got to interact. You got to go meet people. Uh, I know you're afraid to talk to people. I was there too, you know, afraid to talk to people. But meeting people online is no different from meeting somebody on the street. You know, you go to a shopping center and somebody says hi to you. How you doing? You know, you reply back, hi, how you doing? That's how you carry on a conversation with somebody online. It's no different. There's no reason to be afraid of it. You know, fear only exists in your mind, and you let fear control you when you don't take action because you're afraid to. You're gonna get me on a rant here.
No, that's good, and I'm glad you mentioned fear, because that was actually something that I mentioned to this person I spoke to this week. I don't want to mention any names, but fear is a it's a big block for a lot of people. People fear, and I'll tell you this: fear is good. Fear is good, because if you're in a comfort zone, if you're in a place where you're feeling comfortable, and a place where you're not challenging yourself, that's dangerous. So, you know, we may be telling you stuff today that's kind of scary, saying, "Oh, gee, I gotta buy these. I've got to actually do this. I've got to email my list every day. What do I say?" You're frightened, right? You've got to get over that. And you know what? You will make mistakes. You'll make the dumbest emails ever, but you got to do it. So one of the conversations I had was like, this person said to me, "Jamie, I don't want to buy." I don't want to buy these, because if I do, then I really don't know how to close, or I don't know how to close a sale. And I was saying, you know what? Someone's going to call you and you're going to mess that call up. You're going to say something wrong and they're going to hang up on you. But it doesn't matter, because you'll get another phone call and you'll get better at it. You've got to be scared.
That's the thing. Everybody's always worried about, how do I close? I got to close the sale. Quit worrying about money and closing it, and just have a conversation with the person. Talk about their kids, talk about your kids, talk about their day at work, talk about the weather, whatever. Have a conversation, build a relationship with them, just like you would with a coworker at work. Build a relationship with them. And when it's time, they'll close themselves, and you won't have to worry about closing them.
Yeah, I mean that's a big thing. So I was looking at somebody else's incoming producing activities, and they were doing something that I don't do, which is to prospect. So I don't prospect. I don't phone numbers and say and present an opportunity. I don't do that, because I don't like it. I don't like it when it happens to me. So why would I do that to anybody else? It always feels kind of wrong if I'm sitting there with a list of people to phone and say, "Hey, my name is Dave. I just wanted to present this opportunity to you." I don't do that. And so I know there are a lot of marketers that do very well doing that, but I don't do that. And it's not because I'm afraid to do it. It's because I don't want to force things on people. I would rather people be attracted to what I have than for me to go and find people. And this is something that both Jamie and myself, we've modeled off of somebody called Diane Hoffman, which is amazing with attraction marketing, which is the best form of marketing you could do. But before we carry on with that, I just want to get on to the next point before we go completely off topic here. And this is the third point, which I actually did speak about earlier today on my video. And this is the idea of following up with your list. So a lot of us write emails, and a lot of us write very good emails. But one thing I will tell you about the public is that they respond to actions. So if you're writing an email, right at the end of it, say something like, "Tell me your thoughts, hit reply, and tell me your most embarrassing moment." Or "Tell me your thoughts, hit reply, and let me know if you have a question." And interestingly enough, I did that this week, and I got 5 separate people emailing me, asking me questions. And this is the thing, you've got to follow up with your subscribers. And the biggest mistake I find in this industry is that nobody really responds to people. So somebody asks a question at the bottom of your YouTube video and you don't respond. You just leave it there. I respond quickly, as fast as I can. And one of my habits for success is answer as quickly as possible. So if somebody does email you, get back to them. That's the thing that makes you stand out. So I wrote an email out today, and I got a response from Maria. Maria responded to me, and I was like, man, that's amazing. And I will remember that. Maria is making herself stand out because she replies to an email she got from me. And this is what you need to do. You need to respond to your customers. It is the best thing in the world when you can respond as quickly as possible and give people answers that they weren't even expecting. So somebody asked me this week about e-commerce, and they were saying, can you actually do e-commerce in South Africa? That was the question. So I responded back and I said, not only can you do it in this country, but here is a plugin you can put in your website to do it. So I went over and above what they asked me in the first place. So I followed up with my customers, and that makes you stand out above the rest. All right, do things that blow people away. Here's something that happened to me a while ago. A couple of years ago, I was on a diet. It was a no-fat diet. I had to stay away from fat completely. It was I lost a ton of weight, by the way. It was a really good diet, and all I had to eat was carbs and sugar. It was a really weird diet, but it worked. Okay. And I went out with a friend of mine, and we were having like a burger and a coffee. And I ordered a burger and a coffee, and I said, do you have any fat-free milk? And the guy said, no, I'm sorry, we don't. And I said, okay, I'll just have a black coffee. Little did I know, this person, this waiter, went out to a convenience store and bought fat-free milk, came back and said, here, sir, here's your fat-free milk. He got the biggest tip ever. We go back every single week, and I will never forget the service he gave me because he went up and beyond what he was supposed to do. He was very polite. He gave me a good answer, but he got it for me anyway. And this is what you need to be doing with your customer base, is going above and beyond. All right, so I live in South Africa. My time zones are completely opposite to the States. I shifted my lifestyle to the point now where I sleep during the day and I work at night so that I can interact with people overseas. Now, here's the interesting thing. A lot of South Africans want to know how they can achieve what I've got. And I tell them what I do, but they go, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. My life's too busy. I can't do it. Of course you can do it. Anybody can do this, but you need to want it. I'm gonna mute myself, and Jamie, you can say something now.
Well, I like it when you go on rants. You know, it makes me think. You know, and let's see, Pops and Katie are having problems getting on there. They got signal strength, but they're not getting pages to load. So, I mean, when it comes to Wi-Fi, you know, and hotspots, I wish I could help them more, but I'm kind of stuck right there. So I don't know what to tell them, you know. So, you know, this is all about income producing activities. So my question is to you, or what are you doing in your business that you define as an income producing activity? Are you searching Facebook all day? Are you searching Twitter all day? Or, you know, are you running Facebook ads? You know, what is an income producing activity to you? I mean, I try to meet, you know, I have a busy schedule at work, so sometimes I don't get to except over lunch. You know, I try to meet five new people a day, you know, and I just got a message from Facebook the other day because, you know, I started this, a couple weeks ago, just meeting 5 new people. And I think I was like 386 friends I had on my Facebook page. I'm up to 500 now, just meeting people. I'm not going out and selling them. I'm not closing them. I'm just meeting people. So I do meet them, and they respond. They send me a friend request, and I have a conversation with them. You know, how are you doing? You know, go look at something on their profile page that we have in common and talk about it. You know, oh, you're marketing too. What company? And stuff like that. I never try to sell them. I never try to close them. You know, if they join me, they join me. I'm looking for people that want to join me, not people that I have to sell to, because trust me, I've been there. If you sell to everybody, you're going to get somebody that you cannot stand to work with, and you want to work with people who are like you, who are like Dave, that you are happy to work with, happy to help, happy to teach. This isn't for everybody. Some people think they can come in, push a couple buttons, and $1 million is going to drop in their account. It don't happen. Trust me.
No, it doesn't. It's a, you know, and you said something earlier that, and the thing is, so here is one of the things that I do. One of my activities I do now is that I connect with people who are in the same industry that I am, and I purposely say to them, let's have a conversation. I promise you I'm not going to pitch you. I hate that. I won't sell a thing to you. And they say, okay, sure, fine. And we have a conversation, and they end up pitching me anyway. They try to pitch me. But I just carry on with the conversation because I want to connect and be genuine with somebody. And what I end up doing is just giving away free stuff anyway to people because I want to give value. And this is something I do every day. I make sure that I make it part of my, and that is an incoming producing activity. If I get very antsy, I get very, very antsy if I'm working on a website too long. I get very antsy if I'm listening to a lot of mindset stuff. I get very antsy if I'm just reading, which I don't do that much of, but I get very antsy if I'm not working on something that's going to produce an income, that's going to contribute to my business. I don't like working on tables. People ask me, if you ask me, how many tables and stats did I work on in the beginning when I started? 0. I didn't do any A/B testing. I didn't do any stats. I didn't do any graphs. All I did was concentrate on getting leads. That's all I did. I just made it my be-all and end-all. Now, getting on to the next point, and that is we've done building a list. We've done connecting with your subscribers, right? Emailing them on a daily basis. We've done follow-up. And the next thing is creating content. Creating content does contribute to an incoming producing activity. Why? Because it is increasing your value. It's increasing your value, which makes you more valuable to other people. And this is why we encourage people to join businesses like My Lead System Pro, and you can connect on the bottom of the link right now. You can connect right there, which has a ton of training. There's like over 40 modules of training that you can use to increase your knowledge as a marketer, which you can use to teach other people, and create your own training, which you can use to provide free content for your list. You need to create content for your business. And the way you do it is by buying content and using it inside of your actual business. That's what you need to be doing. You need to be working on that. And that comes in the form of on a blog, making your own videos, putting valuable content on Facebook, sending out emails which you can educate people on, and getting them reading about stuff that you've learned. If you learned a new trick about how to learn, share it with people. The whole idea is that you need to be creating content. And I will give you a little bit of a tip here if you're just getting started off in the industry. If you're just getting started off in the industry, my recommendation to you is to work on this part of your business until you've got some content out there. And the reason you need to be doing that is because let's say you've just bought some traffic and you get like 100 clicks and you've managed to get like 50 opt-ins, 50 emails. Somebody has just seen what you have to offer and now they want to do some research on you. So they type in, who was Jamie Shaw? Jamie Shaw just started out. He's got nothing on YouTube. He's got nothing on a blog post. He's got nothing on his Facebook wall other than cats and funny little videos. Do you honestly think that person's going to take notice? No. This is why I say it is so important to create content and to share with people who you are. You need to make a video called Who is Dave Reiniger? Who is Jamie Shaw? Who is Katie Stage? You go and have a look at Maria. She's got a video called "Who is Maria Ascani?" You can look at Jamie. He's got a video. Most of us in this team have videos that say who we are, and we tell people our story. So if you just got started in this industry and you think you haven't got anything to share, of course you do. My name is Dave Reniger. I just got invited to this amazing product. It's got so much stuff in it. Here, let me show you the back office and I'll show you what I found. You've got so much to share with people. All right, so you need to be creating content. Yes, Jamie. And Jamie is really good at this type of thing. He's our technical guy. He loves working on websites. He makes videos. He produces content all the time. And this is why.
Not as much as I should. Not as much as I should, but I do create a lot of content. And what Dave's saying is absolutely true. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Dave.
No, it's fine. It's fine, man. I just, if Jamie decided to go ahead and buy like 1,000 clicks and he got 500 leads, those people that see his capture page and see his funnel will know that he's there. And one of the first questions you have is, who is this person? So they're going to do a search for Jamie and find out who he is. And that's going to give people content. That's going to give people something to look at. All right? And this is why I say, if you're in a position where you can buy traffic, you absolutely need to do it. You absolutely need to do it. And if you don't know where to buy the traffic, you can contact us and we'll give you some resources where you can buy traffic and get results. So you absolutely need to be building content. So that's building a list, connecting with your subscribers, doing a follow-up and responding quickly, creating content. And here's the last point.
I got something
There's
to say.
actually two.
I got something to say.
Sure, go for it.
On creating content, you're probably sitting there wondering, what kind of content do I create? How-to videos work. I did how-to videos. I did a series of them. How to get a domain name, how to get WordPress hosting for your site, how to install WordPress on your site, how to install plugins on your site, how to set up a WordPress page. Step by step, easy to follow. I've done it with Funnelizer, how to build capture page step by step. People are looking for that stuff because a lot of people, you first come online, you don't know how to build a capture page, you don't know how to build a bridge page, you don't know how to build a WordPress website. So I did it. They get a lot of views. I'm actually working on a new series on how to build a Facebook page and then build it up from scratch with organic subscribers to it, not paid subscribers. I've showed in our group how to do paid subscribers to it, but a real good page is one you can build up organically. If you know how to do that, then you know how to get leads. And you have to do, like Katie does how-to videos on how to use what's that program she uses to edit videos? Windows Movie Maker. She does how-to videos on how to use the YouTube editor, stuff like that. Simple stuff that people know how to use Canva, stuff like that. That's all different ideas. There's a million ideas that you can create content on. If you like to cook, there's a million recipes you can put out there as content on a recipe.
It's all.
Yep, that's it.
And I don't think Jamie was saying that buying traffic is bad. Buying traffic, you can absolutely buy traffic in different niches, and there's some great websites that provide good traffic. He was just talking about when people just get clicks to a Facebook fan page, and sometimes it's not really great because you want organic traffic. But here's the thing: if you do have the option, if you do have a budget where you can spend on traffic, take it, because that will speed up your success drastically. It will. This is the real. And look, I still don't buy traffic. I've started now, but the only reason I can now is because I can afford to buy it, and I just pay somebody else to do it for me. But if you want to get to the 6 figures, if you want to get there, buying traffic is absolutely a must. Because then if you're buying traffic, you can work on the slower stuff, like your videos and like your Facebook and producing good content. That is why people buy traffic. You know, Pat Patterson buys traffic all the time, and he's a six-figure earner because he buys traffic. And I mean, he pays money for it. That's exactly why he's elevated to that level that he's at. You know, that's why he can earn $8,000 to $10,000 a month, because he buys traffic. But he still works on his blog, and he writes a post every now and then, and he does a video every now and then, and he writes a good email every now and then. Otherwise than that, he just outsources everything. We can learn so much by that. If you've got the money and a small budget to work on traffic, go for it. So here's the fifth point. And ironically, it's at the end, and it is mindset training. Now, you might be saying, but Dave, you just said mindset training isn't part of this. I can guarantee you, if you go through this list of incoming producing activities, your mindset is going to change. Because if you start making it a habit and you start doing this every day, the way you do business will change. And where can you listen to mindset? Well, take a feather out of, you know, Jamie's hat here, and if that's the right expression, but he goes to work and he's driving his car, so he will listen to mindset training on the way there. And we've got a great resource on the side called the Deep Abyss, and we listen to that stuff, which is great, and it's going to educate your mind. But if you are in front of your computer and you have the ability to work with an internet connection, don't fool yourself into doing 3 hours of mindset training and thinking that you're doing work, because you're not. All you're doing is you're not pulling the trigger. Even if you are going through some training, this is the way I do when I do training. When I find a course and I've bought a course and I go through it, I go through about 10 minutes of it, I pause it, and I do the very thing they asked me to do. And then once I've got it and I understand it and I'm excited about it, the very next thing I want to do is I want to share it with everybody. And that's when I share it with my team. That's when I make videos. That's when I teach people. That's what you need to do. That's how you build a business. That's how you get results. You don't get results by sitting on the sidelines, pretending like you're a millionaire and you're doing a video every now and then, or you're doing a blog post every now and then. You work like a machine, or you buy traffic. And if you're buying traffic, you can take it easy and you can do the things you want to do. So that is my advice to you. Please listen to what I'm saying. You know, you don't have to go like a mad thing and work crazy hours if you can afford to buy traffic. And a lot of people don't want to buy traffic because they're scared. They're scared of the commitment. They're scared that they might actually get some result from it. Well, so what? You're probably going to botch the first 2 phone calls anyway, right, Jamie? You're probably going to mess it up. You know, they're not going to, you know, I mean, so what? And let me tell you something. The first time I had somebody call me for my business to ask me, I didn't know what to say. I was like, oh, yeah. And I was trying to give an excuse for why they shouldn't join because I was trying to get out of this whole deal. But they still went ahead and did it anyway. And that made me even more scared. You've got to take the leap. And, you know, here's a good law of success. And this is something I learned from Jim Rohn. It is so important. When you actually achieve a goal in your business, celebrate it. Celebrate it. Celebrate the accomplishments. But when you lose, when you fail, put it on yourself. You've got to put it on yourself. You can't blame everybody else. You've got to put it on yourself. You know, just because you achieve something great, that's great. But when you fail on yourself. And a lot of people don't do that. They like to shift the blame and say, oh, it was the system, or I bought a bad source of traffic, or, you know, the lighting was off, my microphone's not working, whatever. You're blaming everything else but yourself. Be hard on yourself. Most billionaires, when they fail, they're incredibly hard on themselves. And it just makes them work harder. It makes them work harder. And you might be saying, well, Dave, I don't really blame myself. But think about it. Think about it. When stuff doesn't go your way, don't you try and justify it? Don't you try and justify something that doesn't go your way? And I thought that was very interesting, that just as well as you celebrating because you succeed, you have to be just as hard on yourself. You can't have it one way or the other. You have to do both. And I know that when I in those 8 months, when I didn't make a sale, I was incredibly hard on myself. I just worked harder. And then when I actually finally made my first sale, and I got that first sale, I couldn't believe what was happening to me. I thought, what the heck? I'm from Africa. Why would anybody want to trust me? I come from a third world country. I was trying to come up with all these excuses. I couldn't believe this was happening. Celebrate the successes and be hard on yourself when you fail. Because when you take responsibility for your own failures, that's when you learn. And I'm not saying to go into a big pity party here, because that's not what we're about. You don't go into a pity party. You learn from your mistakes. You learn from your failures. And you move on. But if you're going to obfuscate and you're going to just blame somebody else, how can you learn? How can you learn? So that's a very important message I want to get through to everybody watching. Make sure that you are doing incoming producing activities in your business. If you are not contributing to your business, you are not really doing anything. So don't sit there and make your tables. Don't sit there and make your stats. Don't sit there and do a little bit of A/B testing with your measly bit of traffic. Actually get something going. Work on your business. Build your list. Connect with your subscribers. Follow up. Create content and your mindset. And then last step is just repeat the process. Repeat the process. So I don't know if anybody's got any questions, or Maria, you might have a question. Maybe Jamie's got a question, or
yeah, Maria had a question in the chat. She wanted to know. Is it a good idea to ask for a phone number on the landing page or capture page?
I would say, Maria, if you can put your phone number in a place where people can see it, get a chance to phone you, go for it. Don't be scared of that. A lot of people don't like to put, a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to put my address. I don't put my phone number. I don't want to put my personal stuff. Why are you afraid of it? Why are you afraid? Pat's always giving people his number. He's always got his number there. People are always calling him. I've been on a call with Pat, and he's received a phone call, and he's like, hey, buddy, how you doing? Of course you can go. Just go to this link. And somebody else will call him. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Fear is the biggest thing that stops us.
And my number is in my email signature. My number is on my Thriving Thursday website. Actually, I'm not against paid traffic. Actually, the first 2 sales I got in the previous company I worked for, I got with paid traffic. Paid traffic does work if you know how to work it. But it takes constant learning. It's not something you just set it and forget about it. You got to be constantly learning because it changes so fast. And there's different platforms you can use. As far as mindset training goes, yeah, I do a lot of mindset training. But, you have to look at like the deep abyss. The mentor that teaches the deep abyss is a 7-figure earner, or high 6-figure earner. I don't know if she's quite 7 figures yet.
She's a 7-figure earner.
Is she a 7-figure earner? Okay. She teaches mindset training. Other great people that train on mindset training are great mentors. And what I've learned is they teach on mindset training because they were taught by great mentors and they were passed down in the code. The code is embedded in the mindset training. And you got to learn how to decode the code that's in the mindset training. And it's not a secret code. It's just a code to help you think better, a code to help you realize, hey, I should be doing that. And there's little tips and tricks in the mindset training that is there to help you take action. It's not just listen to the mindset training. Take what you learn from the mindset training and go do something with it. If you don't do anything with it, it don't do any good to sit and listen to it all the time.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's like a blanket. You know, you can get into bed and you don't have to have the blanket on, but it's good to have the blanket over you so it can keep you warm. And that's kind of like what mindset training does. It wraps you up and it's good. But a lot of, and this is the danger, is that a lot of people will read 1,000 books. In fact, Dan Pena knew of a guy, he read 720 books in his entire life and didn't make a dime. Didn't make a dime. And he was reading these books so often, it didn't do anything for him. And Dan's like, what the hell are you doing? Pull the trigger and start taking action. And I like what Maria says. She says she's scared to make phone calls. And we're not saying that you have to make phone calls. I don't make phone calls. But chances are, if it scares you, it's probably going to help you get out of your comfort zone. Nothing wrong with calling somebody. No, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with calling anybody, but do something that scares you. In fact, Dan lives by that principle. He says, do something that scares you every single day. You've got to get out of this comfortness. You've got to get out of this way when you don't actually do anything, when you're so comfortable being in your little comfort zone that you don't actually get any results. And I'll tell you what, man, I've had some scary times these last couple of weeks. I've had some very scary times. And I'll be honest with everybody here, I've done some things in the last couple of weeks that I've never done before, and they scared the life out of me. And I've made like, what, $4,000 this month?
Yeah. I'll tell you something.
Carry on.
Go ahead.
No.
I'll tell you, as soon as you get done, I'll tell a little story that's really scary.
Yeah. The thing is that you can't, you only if you take those risks, only if you jump off the cliff, then you will experience that free fall. You know, it's like if you want to bungee jump and you want to experience that, you've got to jump off. You've got to jump off. And this is why we are telling you to take these actions. All right. And the only reason that I'm able to build my business up to the point where it is right now, where I don't have to worry about anything, is because I have taken massive action. And I've done some really scary things these last couple of weeks, which have taken me right out of my comfort zone. And as a result of that, I'm getting results. So, Jamie, you want to say something?
Yeah, I got a little story to tell, and I got two things, you know, that little story, and then something I heard on the way home. On the way home, I listened to MLSP Morning Wake Up Call by Brian Finale, and he talked about these words, three words that he took completely out of his vocabulary. It's 4 words. Cannot afford it. He quit saying that completely. And you said, he said, if you talk to me today, you will not hear me say those words at all. I cannot afford it. He said, it doesn't exist in my vocabulary, because people use it as an excuse. Is why they can't buy this program, or why they can't buy paid traffic. I can't afford it. Well, set aside a budget and make yourself afford it. The only way you're going to be able to afford it is to make yourself afford it. Quit eating the cheeseburger at lunchtime and spend that money on paid traffic. You know, this morning, this is my little story. This is real fear. This morning, I'm driving to work. It's dark out. This idiot decides to pass 3 cars and a semi and almost hit me head on. I was down in the ditch to keep from hitting him head on. That's real fear, because you see your life flash before your eyes, because you don't know if that idiot's going to hit you head on or not. Of course, he's in a little bitty car, and I'm in a great big F-150 pickup, you know, full-size pickup. So he ain't going to hurt me, but you never know what's going to happen. You know, and I even stopped on the side of the road because that scared the crap out of me. That's fear. Being afraid to do a video, being afraid to write an email, being afraid to talk to people, that's not fear. When you face life or death situation, that's fear. You know, these little excuses you use to not to do a video, not to write an email, not to talk to people is what your mind creates to protect you, to keep you inside your comfort zone. That's what your mind's designed to do, keep you inside your comfort zone so you won't experience pain. And I tell you, from Eric Thomas, pain lasts for a minute, an hour, a day. But one day it will subside and something else will take its place. So step away from fear and just do it. That was the best advice Brian Finale told me today. Just do it. That's my little rant, Dave.
No, that's awesome, man. And I love that and I bet you're a better driver because of that little accident.
Oh, yeah, it scared me.
I bet you're a better driver, because of that. That's why if anything, you should be looking forward to the failure.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to help you. It's going to help you make a better person, and it's going to help you. And the ones that they don't take the risk, I still to this day, Jamie, haven't told anybody how much I've spent on the products that I've bought. If I told people how much money, and I've bought a lot of products, and if I told people how much money I paid for that, especially here, they would laugh at me. I think I'm a crazy person, and I just haven't told them. But I've taken that leap. I've spent money on a product where I could have bought myself a car. I could have bought another car with that amount of money that I spent on a product. And I did something scary. I did something frightening. I did something that was out of my comfort zone. And you're putting aside a budget to buy traffic so that you can work in your business in the tiny things. Maybe you want to work on your funnel a bit. Maybe you want to work on your emails a bit. Maybe you want to work on a little course that you want to do, or you want to put more effort into your videos because you don't have the stress of working on a free strategy. Buy some traffic. Get that out of your mind so you can concentrate on giving people real value. Don't make it about the money. I was speaking to a friend of mine this week, and he was saying that he knew of a buddy that would buy scratch cards. He bought scratch cards for the lotto every single time he could. He bought scratch cards, and he was saying he won money. He won money. You know why? Because he was consistently buying scratch cards. If you do this on a consistent basis, you will get results. You will get results. There's no question in my mind that it can work for you. It's just we've got so much fear. We've got so much fear, and we are afraid of the stupidest things, just like Daniel was saying. We are afraid of the stupidest things. You just got to do it anyway. You've got to do it anyway. And this is why we can do what we do. People wonder why. How can I do what I do? It's because I went outside and I was frightened to get out of my comfort zone. And I did it. And you can too. You just need to do those things. So, in summary, before we close up, because we're on the hour now and we're 3 minutes past, build your list, either with a free method of traffic or buying traffic. One of the two. And if you're going to be doing the free method, you need to work like a crazy person or buy traffic. Second, connect with your subscribers. Third, follow up. Answer immediately. Fifth, mindset training. 6, repeat the process. And you'll be fine. Don't worry. Don't concern yourself. Sometimes I see people, Jamie, they're online, right? They haven't produced anything, but they want to draw up these big and fancy graphs with everything they can do, and they haven't produced anything yet. I'm like, you're doing the stuff that people should worry about when they're actually producing results. Don't worry about those frills. Concentrate on incoming producing activities so you can actually get where you want to go. That's how you get there. So I'm going to say goodbye, and we're glad that you joined us. Wow, this is the second week Pops and Katie haven't joined us. Maybe they're trying to tell us something, Jamie.
I don't know. No, they're just having. Katie was ready to throw her laptop out the window because she couldn't get it to connect.
No, that's cool. So no, we understand, Katie, and we're only teasing you, I think. No, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you, Maria, for commenting and asking questions. We really do appreciate you, and for those of you who couldn't log in as well, you can log in and comment, and we can actually read your comments. But we see that there are people viewing this right now. You have an amazing week, and don't forget Jamie's Hangout on Thursday. He's doing part 2, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Wisdom Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You want to be a part of that. And don't forget also Sonia and Maria, they're hanging out on Tuesday at 4 p.m. I think it's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
And yeah, we'll see you sometime next week. Have a tremendous rest of the week, guys. And I'll be making some more videos. I'm excited because I'm going to do something as well. So I'm going to be doing something on my wall tomorrow. And I'm sure Jamie's got stuff he wants to produce as well. So we'll see you same time next week. Cheers.
Bye, guys.